Happy Thursday to everybody. Hope your day is going well. It is, I guess, more what I call the official opening day in Major League Baseball. I know they played a game last night on Netflix, but to me, the real opening day starts today. I believe an afternoon game in. I'm trying to figure out where the game is. I think the Mets have the first game against the Pirates, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Mets and the Pirates, like at 1:30 today or something like that. Anyway, we are at the next game of the June the 18th schedule, game 3 of 4, game number 446 overall. We're at Cleveland Stadium for the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Singles are 1 to 11 for both. Home runs 1 to 8 for left, 1 to 11 for right. And the starting pitchers for today's game, it'll be Bob Stanley against Rich Yett. He comes to the game 1 and 2. Stanley comes to the game 3 and 5. Bring up the Strat-O-Matic computer so that we can get the numbers for you. Boston comes into the game 25 and 39. Cleveland comes in 23 and 40. They are fighting it out for last place along with those Baltimore Orioles. They're all battling. It's a three-way race for last, and then the other 4 teams are fighting it out for the division title. So it's a big gap there between those 3 teams and the 4th place team, Detroit. It's a huge gap there. Looking at Rich Yett's real season, he was 3 and 9 with a 5.25 ERA and 1 save because he did have some relief work well. On the replay, he's doing a little bit better for himself. He's 1 and 2 with a 3.71 ERA and 1 save. So he's doing better in the replay than he did in the real season for sure. And we'll get this one going. Both pitchers are good at holding the runners. They're both at a -3, so it might cut down on the base stealing attempts. We shall see. Ellis Burks will step into the box for the Red Sox to take on Rich Yett. Burks enters the game hitting .293, 8 homers, 18 driven in. He hit .272 real world. And before the first pitch, of course, as tradition goes now, the ceremonial first sip. And that is some good coffee. All right, so Rich Yett stands in against Ellis Burks. And game number 446 is now underway. Fix this. I had moved the dice tray out of the way from my unboxing last night. And when I put the dice tray back, I didn't have the chute lined up properly. I had it lined up going right into the sidewall. So obviously that's why there was nothing there. So that'd be a 5-yard penalty for a false start if this was the NFL. Now we're underway, 1-5, and that's a line out to short. He will line it right to Julio Franco, and that is out number 1. 1 down, and that will send up Marty Barrett. Second baseman Marty Barrett, he is hitting .310 on the replay. No homers, 15 driven in. He at .293 real world. It's a 5-8. That's a ground ball shortstop X for going right to Franco. 2E26 for Franco. So we bring in our defensive chart. 2 is going to come down here. E26, we'll check the errors on E26. It's 12, 17, and 18. Those are the ones to avoid. 12, 17, and 18 are your error numbers on E26. And on a 2, basically it needs a 3 or higher to make the play. Gets an 18, that's fine. That is a 12. And again, E26, did I see this right? There's a 12 right here. 12, 17, and 18 were the error chances. And look what he found right here. 12, right off the bat. I tell you what, I almost overlooked it because it's kind of the print's kind of small on this. But that is a 12 right there. E26, the only one base error on the E26 is a 12, and we just had one. So Julio Franco boots it, and Marty Barrett will be aboard. Marty Barrett will look to get a lead. Needs a 4. So, hello, Jeremiah. Needs a 4. Gets a 5, does not get it, so he will hold. And here's Wade Boggs, third baseman Wade Boggs. He's hitting .356 on the replay. 12 homers, 32 driven in. He at .363 real world. 3-7 for Boggs, and that's a walk. That's something he does quite a bit. First walk issued by Yett. It's going to put runners at second and third. Oh, sorry, first and second with one out. Boggs walked 105 times in the 87 season. So definitely no surprise there. Now cleanup man Jim Rice is up. Rice hitting 276. 4 homers, 28 runs batted in on the replay. Hit 277 real world. Rice. That is a 1-5 for Rice, and that's a fly ball to center field for 2 away. So 2 down, and now it's up to Don Baylor in a clutch situation. Don Baylor in the clutch will not change at all. He's got everything is completely neutral. Get a 3-12, and that's a low max, but it's already 2 outs, so you can't get any double plays. A low max right to third baseman Jacoby to end the inning. So Rich Yett gets out of the inning despite the error in the walk. Go to the bottom of the first. It's Boston nothing, Cleveland coming to bat. And good old Bob Stanley is your starting pitcher. He was 4-5, 5.01 ERA real world. On the replays, 3-5 with a 6.48 ERA. And we'll see what he does here against Brett Butler. In 74 innings of pitching in the replay, Bob Stanley has given up 103 hits. So he's definitely been getting hit around, as they say. So now Brett Butler steps to the plate. Butler hitting 394, 4 homers, 15 runs batted in, 295 replay. Here's Butler. 1-8 for Butler, and that's a 1 for a home run, but he's going to end up flying to right field, where Mr. Greenwell will put it away. Still not used to seeing Dwight Evans at first base, but he's that way because they don't have Buckner, and Todd Benziger hasn't reached the team yet. So here's Julio Franco. Franco's 100, 4 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 319 real world. 6-8, and that's going to be a solid single for Julio Franco. And he'll try to get a lead. Needs a 2 through 5. 2 through 5. Can't get the lead, he'll hold. And that'll bring up Pat Tabler, the designated hitter. Tabler hitting 315, 4 homers, 33 driven in. He hit 307 real world. 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Barrett is a 2E11, but he's responsible with a right-handed batter. He's responsible for holding Franco at first, so he drops to a 3E11. So we bring up our chart for the 3E11. Second baseman E11, he's got to avoid 15, 17, and 18. That shouldn't be too hard. The 3 down here, he's got to get past these pound signs too, because the pound sign will turn that into an SI2 for holding the runner. So he's going to need a 9 or better on the D20 to at least make an out. 15 will be better for him. It's a G1 double play chance. That's a 13. And again, on the E11, the only errors are 15, 17, and 18. So he's going to make the play. In fact, it is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play, 4-6-3. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you are out in that area, be sure to stop by and tell them Demo sent you. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play of the game. And there are two double plays that fit that tailor-made quality. That's a 4-6-3 double play and a 6-4-3 double play. And this one, we've got the 4-6-3, and that will be that. We go to the second inning. Rich Yett back out, and he'll be facing Dwight Evans, Greenwell, and Owens. Hello, Dr. D. Evans hitting 349 on the replay, 14 homers, 46 driven in, hit 305 real world. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Yett. 1 away. And that will send up Greenwell. Greenwell hitting 305 on the replay, 11 homers, 26 driven in. He hit 328 real world. 5'9" lefty. Pops it up to first. Joe Carter's there. 2 down. Mike Owen, the shortstop, steps in. He's hitting .213 on the replay. A homer, 8 driven in. He hit .259 during the actual season. 3-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. 1-2-3 inning for Yett. Nothing doing for the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Stanley back out, and he'll be facing Carter, Hall, and Snyder. Carter, the poster child for underperformance in this replay. Carter on the real season hit .254. 264 with 32 home runs and 106 runs batted in. That was on the real season. On the replay, he is hitting a paltry 186 with only 10 home runs and 23 runs batted in. I've never seen one player be that far off. You know, if it's bad luck or bad dice rolls or what it is, but he just is not doing what he did in real world. Unless he's going to have a really super second half. I don't know. 4-10 against Stanley. Well, that's a good start right here. 1-12 is an in-home run chance. That's a 7. It's gone. So Joe Carter steps up. Maybe he needed to face Bob Stanley. 4-10 is a home run, 1-12. And, of course, he has a normal power. And that's a 7. So it's a home run for Joe Carter. Gets the Indians on the board. For Carter, that is only home run number 11. He had 32 real world, RBI number 24, and he had 106 real world. So Carter may be turning around. Here is Mel Hall. Hall hitting .278, 7 homers, 22 driven in. He hit .280 real world, or was it .260? I'm having a hard time looking at that computer. .280 real world, okay. Strat computer digits are very, very small on the computer. 3-3, that's a pop out to short, and that will be Spike Owen making the play. He might have, Dr. D, I don't remember. Playing all these games, they kind of run together on me. But you could be right. I have to go back and look at old score sheets. Here's Corey Snyder. Snyder hitting .232, 9 homers, 27 driven in. He hit .236 real world. That's a 2-6 for Snyder, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Bob Stanley. 2 away, and that's going to send us to Tony Bernazard, second baseman. Bernazard hitting .236 on the replay. 7 homers, 31 driven in. He hit .250 real world. 6-12 switch hitter. That's a ballpark blast for a switch hitter batting left. It's 1-8. That's a 7. That fits. It's gone. Tony Bernazard. He's got the normal power. Look at it again. 6-12 ballpark blast. Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. 1-8 for lefty hitters, which he is as a switch hitter against a righty. He's a lefty. 1-8. Double die's a 7. So Tony Bernazard goes deep. Not known for his home run prowess, I wouldn't think. He did hit 14 home runs in the real season. This is home run number 8 on the replay. RBI number 32. And the Tribe lead it 2-0. 2 solo home runs. And here is Brooke Jacoby. Jacoby, 5-4. And that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Burks. 2 with a E5 for Ellis Burks. So we bring in our chart. 4-2. He just needs 4 or higher on the D20 to catch it. And on E5 center field, the only errors are 4, 16, 17, and 18. So you would think he would make the play. That's an 8, so that's no problem at all. 2 and a 12 is an F2, so no problem at all there. Burks makes the catch. But 2 solo home runs, one by Carter and one by Bernazard, give the Tribe a 2-0 lead after 2 complete from Municipal Stadium, otherwise known as the Mistake by the Lake in Cleveland. Good morning, Kathy. Yes, coffee is right here. Much needed. Getting off to a slow start today myself personally. I got woken up early in the morning, more than I wanted to, so I laid back down, and by the time I woke up, it was later than what I usually wake up, so I didn't have as much time to drink coffee beforehand. So this is only my second cup. Usually I've had 2 cups before I come up here, And the cup I'm drinking when I'm up here is my third cup. So I'm 1 cup behind, but maybe that won't be too bad. I don't know. Mark Sullivan, the catcher, hitting a .173, 2 homers, 10 RBIs on the replay, hit 169 real world. And Kathy does have a trivia question for us at the end of the 3rd inning, beginning of the 4th inning. So be on the lookout for that. Here's Sullivan, 5-9. Ground ball to second. Bernazard will make the play. 1 down. And that will send up Ellis Burks. Tomorrow morning's game is up in the air because we do have somebody coming over to the house to do some plumbing for us at 10 in the morning. And so I'm either going to have to bump the game up to 8 to get it in play, or do it in the evening, or do a pre-record and upload it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do it after he leaves. I don't want to do it at 8 in the morning, though, because they may need to call and clarify something or whatever. So I really don't want to do that. So I'm thinking maybe I might do it at noon tomorrow. Because tomorrow morning, like I said, I have real world stuff going on. So here's Ellis Burks. 4-5, and that is a strikeout for Yett. Dot is there, but he's not tired. Not tired yet. And that's a strikeout number 2 for Mr. Rich Yett. And here's Marty Barrett. 6-5. That's a ballpark blast off of Yett. But Barrett has weak power, so even if it passes, it won't be a home run. That's a 13, so it's not even going to pass. It's just going to be a fly to left. And that will end the inning. So Rich Yett, 1-2-3 inning. And actually, Yett now has retired 8 in a row, going back to the 1st inning. Seems to be on his game. Stanley back out. Will face the number 9 hitter, Chris Bando, catcher. Bando on the replay is hitting 198. No, 1 homer, 13 driven inning at 218 real world. 5-10. 5-10 is a strikeout for Bob Stanley. 1 away. Here is Brett Butler. Butler flew to right his first chance. 112 for Butler. It's a Lomax plus injury, so it's possible that Brett Butler will have to leave this game. He lines it to second baseman Barrett, but possibility of an in-game injury. He would only, if he is injured, he'd only be injured for this game. He will not miss any time because it's as played, but I am allowing in-game injuries. So if we get to in-game injuries, we go to our super advanced injury chart, and I do use these two to say he stays and he remains in the game. He does not miss the remaining of the game. Technically, by rule, this means you miss the remainder of the game and not any games after that. But to me, I'm reading this, and I'm going to add it to help the guy not get injured as much. I'm going to give him those chances to stay in the game. So 1 to 6, he can stay in the game. He does not. 8, he's got to come out. So Brett Butler will have to leave the game, and that means the Tribe will have to find another center fielder, and we'll see who they have rated for center field. Hopefully they have somebody else rated for center field. I don't want to play somebody out of position already. If I have to do it out of position, I'm going to probably make the injury null and void unless we got another center fielder out there. Actually, Joe Carter can play center field. So the injury will stand. So Butler will leave. Carter will move from first base to center field. And now we need a first baseman. And who was that going to be? I have to use somebody else to play first base. I think we're going to move Jacoby from third to first. And then Junior Noboa will take over at third. That's why the Demolition League, I mean, not the Demolition League, but that's why we do the injuries here, to give me a little challenge to make me figure out what to do. So let's write this in. Butler is out. So we're going to have Carter moving to center field. And at first base, Jacoby's going to move to first base, where he is a 4 E25, same as he was at third base. So he keeps the same defense. And coming in the leadoff spot will be Junior Noboa. and he will be at third base. So Noboa, third base in the fourth inning. So we'll make sure we got those all in line. So Noboa will bat leadoff going forward. Okay, so 2 outs, base is clear. I'll do all on the computer once the inning is over. While Kathy's doing her trivia question, I'll be doing all these logistics on the computer to get everything straight. And Julio Franco, 6'11", ballpark single, 1-11. That's a 12. That's going to be a line out to short to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Tribe in their half of the third. We go to the fourth. Score still 2-0. If you would turn your attention to the chat area, Kathy has a trivia question, and I'm going to go on the computer and make these changes so we're ready to go for the top of the fourth. All right, let's look at the trivia question. With a record 8 season home run crowns to his name, he never hit 50 in a season. National League player. I got an idea, but while I'm doing this, I'll let other people chime in, but I have an idea who it is. Just because I have an idea doesn't mean it's right. All right, so I think I got all the particulars in place now for the Tribe to get them defensively squared away. Dr. D says Musial. I was thinking Hank Aaron because I don't think Hank Aaron ever hit 50 home runs in a season. But, who knows? Maybe he never won 8 home run crowns either. He might have just the home runs might have been just from longevity. So I have no idea. Kathy might have to give us. She said National League player, so maybe that helps a little bit. I don't know. So I have no idea. So we'll just keep rolling here in the fourth while people guess. Wade Boggs, 4-8, and that's going to be a strikeout for Yett. That's his third. Oh, Philadelphia, okay. Who was the home run guy in Philadelphia back in the day? Wait, Mike Schmidt never hit 50 home runs, did he? I don't remember Mike Schmidt ever hitting 50 home runs, but he may never had 8 crowns either. I don't know. He's the only guy I can think of in Philadelphia that hit home runs at a really consistent level, but it might have been somebody from back in the 50s for all I know. Here's Rice. 6'11", ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Franco, 2E26. Oh, I got it. Okay, it was Schmidt. Okay, good. Michael Jack Schmidt. I know he had 48 one year, but he never did get 50. All right, so we're looking at Franco and the ground ball shortstop X. He's a 2E26. So again, that E26, he got burned on the 12 last time. He's going to try to avoid a 12 this time. He does, so he gets by there, no problem on the error there. 5, and he is a range of 2. So a 2 and a 5 is a G3. That's all he really needs. He makes the play. 2 down. Thank you for that question, Kathy. That was something that got the thought processes going. As you would, just off the top of my head, if you didn't really pay attention, you would think surely Mike Schmidt would have had to have 50 home runs in the season at some point, but never did. I know I think he had 48 in 1980 or something like that, but never got that 50. All right, here's Don Baylor. 2 outs, base is clear. 3-8 to base on balls. Second walk issued by Yett. Of course, Baylor will not go anywhere. And here's Dewey Evans. Evans. 5-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop extra, giving Franco another chance. 2E26. And a 12. No, it's a 10. Okay, I was going to say almost another 12 again. 2 and a 4 is a G3 pound, but with a right-handed batter up, they were not, and plus they weren't holding Baylor anyway, so he'll make the play and end the inning. So Franco had a couple tough chances there, but was up to the task. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-0 Cleveland. And the Tribe will send out Tabler, Carter, and Hall. That's a 6-8, and that's a solid single for Pat Tabler. And that'll bring up Carter. Carter homered his first time up. Tabler not being held at first. 5-6, and that's a fly ball to right. Greenwell puts it away. One away, and that's going to take us to Mr. Mel Hall. Hall popped to short his first time up. That's a 4-10, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-11. That's an 8. That's gone. Mel Hall, a 2-run home run off of Bob Stanley. Look at it again. 4-10 is a 1-11 home run. In fact, I'll do the old close-up deal. 4-10 on Bob Stanley is an in-home run, 1-11. Double dies an 8, and Hall has normal power. So that is gone. A 2-run home run for Mel Hall. And Bob Stanley getting bit by the gopher ball. It's his third home run he has allowed. It's 4-0 Cleveland. And for Mel Hall, that is home run number 8 on the replay. RBI's 23 and 24. He had 18 home runs real world. 4-0 Tribe, and here's Corey Snyder. 4-10. Same roll, well, just about the same roll, maybe not the same roll, but 1-12, and that's gone. So Bob Stanley, I believe it was the same roll, 4-10. We're right back to the same roll again. That 4-10, but we were over on this side last time against the lefty. Now the right side's a 1-12, and that's a 3, so that's gone. Home run, Corey Snyder. 4th home run by the Tribe. They are just blasting Bob Stanley. For Corey Snyder, that is his 10th home run on the replay. He had 33 of them real world. That was his 10th home run and his 28th run batted in. And it's now 5-0. And you don't know how much longer they're going to keep Bob Stanley in this game. Here's Bernazard. 1-5. He will walk. They're just trying to get Stanley through the inning. This will probably be his last inning. That's his first walk. Bernazard will not go anywhere. They will hold him on, but he won't try anything. Here's Jacoby. 6-5. That's a pop out to first to finally end the inning. But it's now 5-0 Cleveland after 4 complete. Good morning, Matt. So the Red Sox are going to have to get that bullpen going earlier than they thought. And the guy loving all this is Rich Yett. He's getting all the good run support. And this will be the fatigue inning for Rich Yett. He's got a 5 right there. So we'll keep an eye on Yett. See what he can do. McNamara may be going to the bullpen for the Red Sox. The available bullpen arms, they've got some guys with some length. They've got John Leister, Steve Crawford, Wes Gardner, and Calvin Schiraldi from the right side, Tom Bolton and Joe Sambito from the left side. So we will try to figure it out based on fatigue and usage and so forth, and see who makes the most sense. So we go to the top of the 5th. Mike Greenwell will lead it off. He popped to first his first time up. 6-8, and that's a double, 1-5. Double dies a 5, so Greenwell sneaks a double off of Rich Yett. And now the bats are waking up, apparently. Here's Spike Owen, shortstop. That's a 5-7, switch hitter batting left. It's a 1-9 single. That's a 14, so he will line it right to Bernazard, one away. And And that'll bring up the catcher, Mark Sullivan. Six, 7, and that's another walk issued by Yett. That is his third that he has given. It does set up a double play if you want to look at the bright side. Maybe one of those Giovanni Taylor Shop's tailor-made double plays. You never can tell. Here's Burke. He's 0 for 2. 5-2. It's a ground ball pitcher B, so Yett his only play will be to get the force play at second base. Burks reaches on the fielder's choice. Greenwell takes third. And now let's see if Burks wants to get a lead. 5 or a 6 will get him the lead. He doesn't get it, so he'll hold. And that'll bring up Marty Barrett. Clutch situation for Barrett. He loses a hit on 3-5 and on 2-8. That's a 2-6 for Barrett. He's going to ground it to Franco, and that will end the inning. So Yett pitches around that and keeps a little bit of endurance into the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 5-0. Hello, John. Good to see you. Bill. And Kathy has another question, top of the 6th. So let's see. We got to figure out what the Red Sox want to do. Do they dare go with Bob Stanley any further? I think you almost have to take him out. Giving up 5 runs in 4 innings. I just don't see where that's a possibility there. So we'll look and see who's in the bullpen and who's got the most rest. I think that's good. We're going to cap Stanley right there. Obviously didn't have it today. Stanley's only going to go 4 innings. He's going to give up 5 hits and a total of 5 runs. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 6 hits and 5 runs. My bad. 6 hits and 5 runs. And he walked 1. Struck out 2. All right, let's look in the bullpen and see who's got the best rest. Man, all kinds of guys in here that are getting overworked. The Red Sox bullpen has been a little bit overworked in this season. They will go with Sam Crawford. So they're going to go with the right-hander, Sam Crawford. Will the Red Sox? Or Steve Crawford, not Sam Crawford. They probably wish they had Sam Crawford. Steve Crawford, 5-4 with a 5.33 ERA and no saves on the replay. On the season, he's done better on the replay. I'm sorry, on the real season. On the replay, he's done better. He's 3-4 with a 4.19 ERA and 2 saves. So he has done a little bit better for himself. His job is just not to let Cleveland get this thing out of hand if it's not already out of hand. He does have a -4 hold. Not that that's going to help all that much. So Crawford will be facing Bando, Noboa, and Franco. Remember, Noboa had to come in when Butler got injured. So Bando steps to the plate. 111, and that's a fly ball to right field, and he's got an injury chance. So the Tribe could be going for their second injury, and they'd have to bring in Rick Dempsey to catch. So the injury bug hitting the Tribe in this game. That 111 is a fly ball to right plus injury. So again, D6 or D20 needs a 1-6 to stay in the game. And he does not, so he's going to leave. So Chris Bando will leave, and coming on will be Rick Dempsey. Now, if Rick Dempsey comes up with the injury check, we'll disallow it because they have no other catchers. But Rick Dempsey will come in and catch now, starting with the 6th inning. Dempsey will come in and catch for the injured Chris Bando. So here's Junior Noboa. He gets his first at bat of the ball game. Noboa, actually, it's his first at bat of the season. He just got called up. So he has not had any at-bats all season. On the real season, in 80 at-bats, he hit 225 with no home runs. But this is his first at-bat of the replay. 4-8, and that's a fly to center, out number 2. So he's out of there. And that'll bring up Julio Franco. 5-9, and that's a strikeout. So Crawford did his job, and he's going to, obviously, his relief factor is 3, so he can actually finish the game if he needed to, or come close to it. So we go to the top of the 6th, and Kathy has a trivia question for us. While Rich Yett takes his warm-up tosses, it's 5-0 favor of the Tribe. And we're going to have Boggs, Rice, and Baylor coming up right after the trivia question. In 1961, the Yankees won 109 games. What other AL team won 100 or more games that year? Oh, I know that one, but I'll let other people try it. But I know that one. I know that one. Dr. D, I don't think that's correct. There, second time's a charm, Dr. D. Second time's a charm. It is the Tigers. Was the Tigers. All right. So, yeah, that was back before divisional play. So, Tigers won 100 games, didn't make the playoffs. Kind of rough there. All right. Here is, kind of reminds me of 1993 when the Giants won 100 and some games, but they didn't have wild cards. So, Braves beat them out. Coffee is almost exhausted, so of course we'll have a 7th inning stretch break for me to go down and refresh my coffee and do take me out to the ball game. Right now, top of the 6th, Red Sox looking for answers. They have not been able to figure out Rich Yett as of yet. 1-3 for Boggs. That's a ballpark single. 1-11. That's a base hit. So Wade Boggs, leadoff single. Red Sox have gotten some guys on base, but they haven't been able to cash in. See if they can do it here with the heart of the order coming up. Here comes Rice, cleanup hitter. Boggs, of course, not being held at first base. That's a 1-7. That's a strikeout for Rice. And for Rich Yett, that is strikeout number 4. And that'll bring up Don Baylor. Baylor 0 for 1 with a walk. That's a 2, chance for balk or pass ball. Looking at a pass ball chance, Chris Bando has a 9 pass ball rating. And he will allow the pass ball. So Boggs will scamper to second base on that pass ball. And Baylor will step in again. 6-7, that's a walk. Another walk issued by Yett. That's his 4th walk to go with 4 strikeouts. Again, it does set up a double play. Rich Yett is now tired per the computer. So the Tribe bullpen, look at their bullpen and see who they've got that they might want to go to. See who their available bullpen arms are. We got right-hander Mark Huseman, right-hander Mike Armstrong, and 2 lefties, Ed Vandenberg and Scott Bales. So those are the available pitchers out of the bullpen for the Tribe. And we'll see who the most rested is. They're gonna let Yett continue, but they're gonna get the action going in the bullpen. And it looks like Scott Bales has the most rest. So lefty Scott Bales is loosening in the bullpen just in case. and he would come on if Yett is unable to finish. So Dwight Evans steps to the plate, first and second, one out, and Yett is tired, so if we hit one of these dots, it'll turn to base hits. And if I hit a dot, I'm going to do like I do inside pitch. If you hit the fatigue roll, you're automatically coming out. That's a 6-11. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be Franco. He's a 2E26, so possibly could turn to Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play here. 2 and a 26. Again, he's got to avoid that 12. But the 2, to get the double play, he needs a 10 or higher on the D20. And he gets it with an 11. That will be a tailor-made double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop strikes again. Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play of the game. Part 2, and Dewey Evans hits right into it. And the Red Sox come away empty once again. And that'll do it for Rich Yett. He's going to go 6 innings. And they'll cap him at 6 innings. He's given up no runs, but he was definitely teetering on the point of falling apart. He only gave up 2 hits. He did walk 4 and strike out 4. But he gave up the 2 hits. So he only gave up 2. So 6 base runners total. Plus the error was a 7th base runner, but that wasn't his fault. So Scott Bales will be coming in to pitch in the 7th inning for the Tribe. He's a -4 hold. So with Dempsey in the game now, that's the other thing to worry about, is putting Dempsey in the game. He's a +1, same as Bando, so that will make Bales a -3. All right. Coming out for the Red Sox again is Steve Crawford, his second inning of work. He went 1-2-3 in his first inning. He'll be facing facing Tabler, Carter, and Hall here in the bottom of the 6th of a 5-0 ball game. Tabler, 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to Barrett at second base. He's a 2E11. So the E11 at second base are 15, 17, and 18. Got to avoid those. And he's got to get a 3 or higher on the double dive. Doesn't get it. That's a 1. That's a base hit. So Marty Barrett unable to get to it, and Pat Tabler gets his second hit of the game. Double dive strikes again. Here's Joe Carter. Homered and fly to right. 1-8, and this time he'll get a single and a 1-16, and that's exactly what he gets. Tabler stops at second base, first and second, nobody out. And here comes Mel Hall. Hall homered his last time up. That's a 2, chance for Balker pass ball. Looking at a pass ball rating, and Sullivan, unfortunately for him, is a pass ball rating of 14. So he will commit the pass ball. That takes away the double play, and that will force the Red Sox to bring the infield in. So yet another pass ball. Infield is now in for the at-bat of Mel Hall. 4-5. Ground ball second base C. So let's check the chart. Obviously, the infield was back. That would have been a run-scoring ground ball. Second and third, ground ball C is a 1, which says batter out, runners hold. So by playing the infield in, which you obviously had to do there pretty much, they're able to keep everybody at the same base and record the out. 1 away now for Corey Snyder. Snyder also homered his last time up. Infield is still in. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Crawford, so he's trying to get out of this mess. He's 2/3 of the way there. Has to get by Tony Bernazard. Bernazard is homered and walked. In the clutch situation, Bernazard will lose 3 hits. Actually, 4 hits. 110, 2-9, 2-10, and 3-12 are all turned into outs in the clutch for Mr. Bernazard. 5-8 is a base on balls, and that's going to load the bases for Brooke Jacoby. Bases loaded for Jacoby, and in the clutch for Jacoby, he loses a couple of hits right here in the middle of his card. 2-6, 2-7. and 3-5. So he's not good in the clutch either. Crawford, if he wants to keep the Red Sox in the game at all, he's got to get the out here. 6-7 doesn't do it. That's a 1-4 double. That's a 13 to be a single. 2 stars. It's a 2-run single for Jacoby. And now the Tribe has blown this thing open to 7-0. Bernazard will take third. So unable to get out of the mess was Mr. Crawford. And now here's Rick Dempsey. This will be his first at bat since coming in for the injured Bando. So Rick Dempsey, see what he's done on the replay. Dempsey is hitting 196 on the replay, a homer and 12 driven inning at 177 real world. He has no factor for clutch. 5-10, and that is another walk issued by Crawford. It's going to reload the bases. And that's going to send us to the top of the order and Junior Noboa. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Noboa. And in the clutch, Noboa does lose a couple hits, 1-10 and 3-10. Crawford trying to get out of this mess. 1-8, and he does on a ground ball to short by Noboa. But 2 runs come across. It is now 7-0 Cleveland. That's going to be it for Steve Crawford. He's done. He goes 2 innings. And we'll get the rest of the numbers once I put this in for Noboa. Grounding to short. All right, so Scott Bales will be coming on to pitch for the Cleveland Indians in place of Rich Yett. And we'll get the numbers on Crawford. Crawford, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So 2s were going wild there. Top of the 7th we go. Scott Bales. Get his numbers real world. He was 7-8 with a 4.64 ERA and 6 saves in the real season. Replays 3-4 with a 6.08 ERA and 2 saves. Despite the 7-run lead, if he pitches 3 innings, he does qualify for the save via the save rule of pitching 3 innings. So he could get a save out of this possibly. You never know. Mike Greenwell will lead it off against Mr. Bales. Lefty-lefty matchup. 4-7, and that is a ground ball to Franco. 2E26, and again, Franco on the 2E26. Seen it a few times already. He's got to avoid that 12 for sure. Needs a 3 or higher on the D20 to make the play. That's a 12, that's fine. 6 is no problem at all either. So Franco will make the play on Greenwell. 1 away. And at the bottom of the inning, we'll have the 7th inning stretch take me out to the ball game because I am in desperate need of another cup of coffee. Usually I go down and reheat the coffee, but pretty much I've got to get a new cup. This is almost gone now. So got to refill. 2-8 for Spike Owen against the lefty. He grounds it to third. And that's handled by Noboa. 2 down. Here's Mark Sullivan. 5-5, and against a right-hander, that's a ground ball to second. So 3 easy ground outs for Scott Bales. Takes care of the Red Sox here in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And before I take the 7th inning stretch break, we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be for Boston. Pretty much a mop-up role. It's going to be Franco. So they're looking for a right-hander most likely. So it might very well be Gardner, but let's verify this. Yep, Wes Gardner will be coming on to pitch for the Red Sox. Gardner On the real season, 3-6, 5.42 ERA, and 10 saves. On the replay, he is 1-0 with a 7.29 ERA and 1 save. So not very good with the ERA, but he's got a good record of 1-0. And he does have 1 save to his credit. And he will be getting his warm-up tosses in while we go to the 7th inning stretch. So let's cue that up for you while I go get my coffee. I don't know if I can make this work or not. Probably not. What I wanted to do with it. No, I can't. Not gonna be able to do it. Never mind. Okay, we're going to the 7th inning stretch, and you all can enjoy. Take me out to the ball game. All right, we are back and ready to get going here. In just a second, let me get this all fixed up the way I would like it. I do have a visitor sitting right next to me. If you remember, if you saw it last night, I did an unboxing. There's the actual box for it right there, the unboxing. And just to be funny, I was taking the newspaper that it was packed with and just throwing it on the ground, saying how unimportant it was. Well, before I could pick the newspaper up, Tabby decided that the newspaper was a good pillow. So I picked up the newspaper around her, but this one particular piece of newspaper she seems to have a hankering for. So, I mean, I can almost pet her from where I'm sitting, but that's what she's doing right now. She's all curled up on that newspaper and just having a ball. I don't get it. She's got much other comfortable places to sit, kitty beds and so forth, but she seems to like a newspaper. Cats are a little strange. That's all I'll say about it. Cats are definitely their own breed of strangeness. But anyway, we will move on. Jeremiah, whatever Fall Classic, whatever the newspaper was they used to pack this with. Get the box again. See if I can figure out what the newspaper was, where it was from. They're in North Carolina, so I imagine it's a North Carolina kind of thing. Yeah, Southern Pines, well, it's all crinkled up now, but Southern Pines, North Carolina is the date, and the newspaper is dated February 25th, so not that old, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting that she seems to like newspaper. I don't get it, but whatever. All right, so we're ready for the bottom of the 7th now with Wes Gardner on the mound, facing Franco, Tabler, and Carter. And when we get to the top of the 9th, Kathy will have the final trivia question of the day. More importantly, we're refreshed, full cup, nice and hot, which will help me get through these last innings of the ball game. Here's Franco against Gardner. That's a 5-9, and that's a fly ball to center field. So Gardner starts out pretty well, getting the fly out to center field on Franco. One down for Pat Tabler. 4-7, and that is a ground ball to second base X. Marty Barrett at 2E11. 2 and a 17 is good. The E11 and the 16 might be complicated. Nope, 15 and 17 or 18 are errors, but not 16. So Barrett able to make the play. 2 up, 2 down for Joe Carter. 2 for 3 for Carter. 6-2, it's a fly to right. Greenwell puts it away, so Gardner pitches a 1-2-3 7th inning. We go to the 8th. Red Sox still firmly in control, 7-0. Scott Bales, your batter, or your pitcher rather. He'll be facing the top of the order, Burks, Barrett, and Boggs. 3-6 against the lefty is a strikeout. So Scott Bales, nice start to his 8th inning, striking out the leadoff batter, Burks. Here is Marty Barrett. 3-8 for Barrett, and that's a single. 1-out single for Marty Barrett. He's aboard. Red Sox been able to get these singles, but just can't make anything happen. And with the score 7-0, I'm not going to attempt any steals for anybody. So Boggs is up to the plate now with Barrett at first base. 2-11 for Boggs against a lefty is a pop-up to third. It's going to be handled by Noboa, 2 down. And Jim Rice, the batter. Rice 0 for 3. 5-6, possibly 0 for 4. Ground ball shortstop to Franco, 2E26. 2 and a 7, he'll get to that. 2 and a 7 is a G2. That's a 10. Usually aren't many errors on 10s. E26, you got to avoid that 12, which he did. So it's a good play for Franco, and that will end the inning. So if Bales can complete the 9th inning, he will earn the save despite a 7-0 game because of the 3-inning rule for a save. Wes Gardner will mop up here in the bottom of the 8th, facing Hall, Snyder, and Bernazard. Get a 2-6, and that is a ground ball to first. Dwight Evans will step on the bag. 1 away. Here's Corey Snyder. Oh, Dr. D, the 3-inning rule in Major League Baseball for a relief pitcher pitches 3 innings, no matter what the score is, he earns a save. As long as he pitches effectively. I think that's the caveat. But, I mean, it could be 20-2, but if you pitch 3 innings or more, you get a save. If you're not the winning pitcher, you get a save. Here's Snyder, 4-9, and that is a ballpark blast on Wes Gardner's card. It's 1-11 for Snyder. That's a 5, and that's gone. Second home run of the game for Corey Snyder. Makes it 8-0, and that is home run number 11 now for Corey Snyder. His 11th home run of the season. Makes it 8-0. 8-0 ball game for Corey Snyder. Here's Tony Bernazard. 1-4, and that's a solid double for Bernazard. Red Sox are not making another pitching change. They're going to let Gardner. He's got to eat up the rest of this because they don't want to waste any more bullpen arms on a blowout. So here's Jacoby. 5-9. That is a fly to center field, 2 down. And that'll send up Rick Dempsey. Dempsey walked his first chance. That's a 2. Walker pass ball. We're looking at the pass ball rating of Sullivan, which again is a 14. And that is a 14. So a second fastball of the game on Mr. Mark Sullivan. That'll move Bernazard to third with 2 outs. Another 1 now, chance of a wild pitch on Gardner. And we need to get his wild pitch rating off the computer. Let's see, here's wild pitch rating's a 9. 1-9. And it is a wild pitch, so the run scores on the pass ball and the wild pitch. That's just the kind of game it's been for the Red Sox. Give up a pass ball and a wild pitch. And it's now 9-0 in favor of Cleveland. 5-9 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in, and that'll finish it out for Gardner. He's going to go 2 innings. And he's going to give up 2 hits and 2 runs. They are unearned because the pass ball causes an unearned run, since that contributed to the scoring. And no walks and no strikeouts. I think we're safe to put an X here. I think that's pretty safe with a 9-0 lead. Now, if you turn your attention to the box, Kathy has the final trivia question for us. See if we can figure this one out while Scott Bales does his warm-up tosses. What team was this? Won pennant by 13.5 games. 7 players had double-digit home runs. The MVP and the baseball's first Cy Young winner. They also won the World Series in 51 against the Browns, the Giants. That's an elongated trivia question there. I got to digest that one, Kathy. That's won the pennant by 13.5 games. Well, if they won the World Series in 51, that should be the Yankees because they beat the Giants in 51. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misreading the question. So I don't know for sure. But while everybody mulls over that, we'll go ahead and finish this game off. Don Baylor stepping to the plate against Scott Bales. 6-7 for Bales against a right-hander is a solid single. So Don Baylor, the Red Sox always seem to get a base runner on, but they can't do anything with it. Oh, Dodgers in 55. Oh, you were giving me a multiple choice. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking they won the World Series. I didn't realize it was a multiple choice question. The 4 teams there. Okay, I got you. So Dr. D is saying it's the Dodgers of 55. I have no idea, but I don't know when the Cy Youngs first started. Could not tell you. So I'm not sure if you're right, Dr. D. Kathy will have to let you know about that. I misread the question. So you're saying Dr. D got it right, or was it the Dodgers of 55? Here is Dwight Evans. Yeah, Dr. D got it right. All right, good job, Dr. D. 5-9 is a ground ball pitcher B, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. They'll get the lead runner at second on the fielder's choice. Thank you for those questions today, Kathy. Keeping us on our toes. Here's Greenwell. against Bales. And Bales, again, trying for that 3-inning save despite the score being what it is. That's a 4-9. Lefty-lefty. That's a line out to Franco at short. 2 down. Last chance for the Red Sox. It's Spike Owen. He's 0 for 3. Do the Red Sox even bother going to the bench for a pinch hitter? They might, just for the heck of it. I think they're going to bring in Dave Henderson to pinch hit. Dave Henderson, going to pinch hit for Mr. Spike Owen. Well, first of all, I haven't been putting this stuff in the computer for the whole inning here. So it's a single. Fielder's choice. 1 to 4. Greenwell lines to short. And now the pinch hitter for Spike Owen is going to be Dave Henderson. Or do they go with Ed Romero? I think they're going to go with Henderson. No, Henderson's been way overused. I'm not going to use Henderson. Check that. We're going to go with Ed Romero. So Ed Romero will pinch hit instead. It will be Romero. Ed Romero will pinch hit for Spike Owen. So Ed Romero didn't think he'd have to do anything today, but now McNamara says, get your butt off the bench and come in there and pinch hit for Spike Owen. So Ed Romero will pinch hit. He was a 272 hitter real world. No home runs. On the replay, he's hitting 321 with no home runs. Evans at first, 2 down. Last chance for the Red Sox. That's a 4-7. That's a ground ball, second base X. Evans not being held on, so Bernazard keeps his 4E22. 4-11. He'll get to it, I do believe. 4-11 is a G3. So that's good enough. That's a 7. I'm sorry, that's a 9. And Bernazard's at E22 with a 9. There is no 9 there, so that's going to do it. Bernazard is able to make the play to end the inning, end the ball game. And the Cleveland Indians, between the stellar Cy Young type pitching names of Rich Yett and Scott Bales, managed to shut out the Boston Red Sox. Second save of the season for Bales. And we'll go to the box score and get the totals and wrap this thing up. And then, of course, tomorrow going to be a different time frame. Probably looking at a lunchtime deal tomorrow, if I had to guess. So 8 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Cleveland. No runs, just 4 hits and no errors. Not 8 runs. What am I talking about? 8 runs. 9 runs. What am I talking about? It's 9-11 and 1. 9-11 and 1, not 8-10 and 1. 9-11 and 1 there. Losing pitcher is Bob Stanley. He drops to 3-6. His ERA skyrockets to 6.61. Scott Bales lowers his ERA with 3 innings of pitching, just 2 hits. And yes, Dr. D, the Strat computer did give him the save. Actually, that's his 3rd save, not his 2nd. It's his 3rd. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, nothing else in a strikeout. And the Strat computer did credit him with the save. Left on base, Red Sox 8, Indians 5. So with the win, Cleveland improves to 24-40. Boston drops to 25-40. So they're right there packed together at the bottom of the standings. Final game tomorrow will most likely be at noon because, like I said, we have a plumber coming to do some work for us at 10 o'clock tomorrow, and he may be calling in before he gets here. So I don't want to be 8 or 8:30 trying to play a game and have a phone call hanging over my head. So I figured he should be done by 12, I would think. So sometime around 12 or 1, we'll play the Kansas City and California game tomorrow. And that'll be Mark Gubicza for the Royals against Willie Frazier for the California Angels. And that'll finish out the June 18th schedule as we look forward to next week for June the 19th. We got a whole lot of new pitching or new game matchups. We got Chicago at Minnesota, Detroit at Baltimore, Kansas City still in California, Milwaukee still in Toronto. The Yankees will be in Boston to take on the Red Sox. Seattle will be in Cleveland, and Texas will be in Oakland. That'll all be next week. But tomorrow, the time is up in the air. If I had to put a finger on it right now, I'd say probably around noon, 12:30 to noon, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I'm not sure. I just don't want to try to start it even at 8 o'clock. I don't want to try to start it because I need to keep my phone up. I mean, I don't want to play and then get interrupted. I'd rather just wait and wait it out. Or I could play it this afternoon sometime and just finish it off that way. I haven't decided yet. I'll figure it out. But from here, the Tribe trounced the Red Sox 9-0 behind Rich Yett and Scott Bales, throwing a 4-hit shutout. 2 home runs from Corey Snyder. 5 home runs in the game altogether. Mel Hall hit 1, Joe Carter hit 1, Bernazard hit 1, and Corey Snyder hit 2. So the long ball was flying out of Cleveland Municipal Stadium. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we will see you all down the road.